Hey, there's the music. That means it's time for Animal Talk. Some of the best doggone pet people on the planet helping you with your pet, one pooch at a time. It's America's Pet Show, Animal Talk. Thanks for being with us. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those podcast things in all the podcast places. We truly appreciate you coming around. AnimalTalkRadio.com is the website, and of course, WearingFunny.com if you're looking for some gear, some pet parent gear, some funny t-shirts. They're all there. They're available for you. Appreciate our sponsor, WearingFunny.com. Great place. Go check them out. And for your pet help and information, you're in the right spot. We're going to help you out. We have years and years of animal calls and emails and interviews, and we're sharing them all with you on these Animal Talk Rewinds. Now, Animal Talk, it is for entertainment purposes only, so make sure you check with your local veterinarian, your local trainer, if you have any issues coming up, and we're here to help. Our professionals always got great ideas, too, so here we go, having a little bit of fun. It's Animal Talk.
We do have the stars of animal knowledge is what I like to call this crew that's assembled around me. I'm humble in their presence, and like the guy on the far side of the table.
I'm Dr. Brad Davis. I'm here to answer any veterinary questions you might have.
And that is a good place for him to be. Trouble with dogs, behavior-wise, cats, anything at all. Got a behavior issue, Donna can help you out with those. And if anything's cold-blooded, creeping you out, being bad, you need some help, our buddy Rourke from reptilesafari.org can help you out with
when
those
you think
as well.
creepy, think Rourke.
That's right. The man is, again, he is one of the stars of animal knowledge. My name is Jamie. I'm just making sure everybody has a good time.
The coolest man in radio.
How's your week been, Dr. Brad?
Very fine. I got nailed again.
Did you?
Yeah, look at the difference in the fingers. See?
Puffy.
I can't bend the middle finger on my right hand. So I have to be careful when I make a fist at somebody because it doesn't look like a fist per se. But
excellent.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it's a cat bite. I was
going to say, was it a dog or a cat? Because usually dogs don't puff up quite that much.
Right. Cats make you puff up. This was through leather gloves.
Excellent.
So, yes. So,
this cat was not a happy cat.
Not a happy cat at all.
Really?
And it was just nothing. We were just actually, when it did this, I was actually removing its muzzle. So not a very friendly kitty cat.
Really?
Yep. So again, with anyone who ever gets bitten by a cat, go get it checked out. It's not worth. It's never ever don't go to the doctor when you get bitten by a cat. You just don't do that. You just always go to the doctor
because they just care that to the 99.99% you have an infection.
Yeah, you're gonna get an infection. You need to get it cleaned up.
Wow.
No, I didn't go, but everybody else.
Everyone else should. Yes, of course.
But no, it's a. Cat bites, as I believe Dr. Nugent once told us. It's you don't want to get the cat scratched.
That would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Whatever your problem is, have you been bitten by something? Well, Hey, there you go. Give us a call, and we can help you out with that. Tell you, we'll just tell you to go to the doctor now. But you can call. We'll tell you that on the air, too. That'll work as well. And your pet questions. We love getting your pet questions. We like talking to you. So give us a shout, and we'll make your world a happier place with the fur people we live with. Always quite interesting. AnimalTalkRadio.com. And on there you can find information about people we've talked to on the show, links to products we've looked at and tested out. And speaking of things we've looked at and tested out, we have coming up on the show today Michael Kitchen from Breakfast Bowls. And the Brad's tapping on one out. The Breakfast Bowls, we're going to talk to him. These bowls are to help with eager eaters, which can be a problem with dogs, weight-wise, regurgitation-wise.
Yes.
There's several things that can happen. So we're going to talk to Michael Kitchen about these Breakfast dog food bowls, and they're quite unique. And so we're going to get into that. And again, there'll be links to Michael and information about him up on the site, animaltalkradio.com. And there you can find all kinds of great information. Brad's cartoons are up there, which are, if I recollect, funny.
Yeah. At some point over the last several months, they were funny. I'm not sure which month.
Yeah. But the nice thing is, they stay up there now.
They do.
So the funny remains. The funny remains for quite some time.
Much like a stain. They stay for a while.
So there you go. You give us a call and you get some help with your pet. The website is a great portal for all the like-minded infotainment that we have here on the show. We translate that over to a digital version and put that out on the web.
Wow.
I really don't ask me to repeat that because I really, honest to God, have no idea what I just said.
Find a portal back in time to get that
right.
again.
That is. Like I said, the website to contact us through the email. And so that's the way to get hold of us electronically. People, this time of year, there's been a break in the weather finally at the end of this week, and people are doing the happy dance and finally have peeled off one or two of the layers of clothing and have headed outside. And a couple of things that people are finding when they head outside is all the messes that their dogs left behind in the backyard that's just been too cold to go pick up. And second, the pets, they want to get out now. They want to get out and enjoy it. As far as the messes in the backyard, is there any besides, grossing out your neighbors? Is there any concerns medically about this stuff that's been sitting around for a while?
Hernias, because picking it all up, you can do that. But, you're going to put the snow shovel away in a minute anyway, so there you go. Just go for it. But again, there's actually a real neat trick you can use for this. There's a lot of services that don't cost a whole lot that'll come out to your house, and you can get this cleaned up in one fell swoop. Just get them to do it. It's really, when you first think about it, you think, I'm not going to pay someone to clean up the dog poop.
And then you go out there after a long winter and you go, yeah, I wonder how much they charge for that.
It really takes you back to your high school geography when geology, I should say, when you were learning about the Earth's crust and its mantle. Well, now we have a crust of dog poop in the backyard. So, and guess what? It's wet. So it's one of those things. Getting them to do it, really nice, not having to worry about it. And realistically, if you think how much you would have to be paid to do it yourself or someone else.
You couldn't pay me to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so the amount they charge isn't that much. You call around, there's services that do that.
Yeah.
And more power to them.
And I met this one gentleman here in the area, and he started the service, and they did it as a side job for their kid. They had a boy, he was like in 8th grade, whatever, and he's like, didn't want to paper route, so they started this up as a job. The mom and dad have both quit their regular full-time jobs. And now the whole family runs this whole pooper scooper company, and it's really neat. They got a whole logo, and they're looking at franchising the whole concept and their plan and their marketing and all that. And boy oh boy, talk about one way to make a living, and they're fairly successful. I mean, they held on to their regular day jobs until it was a judgment call. And they crunched the numbers, then they're like, it's time to go.
Wow.
Knee deep into it, I guess. Dive in waist deep. Not head first or anything, but that's kind of more one of the things you want to wade into. That's kind of what they did. They got into it slowly. But so those services are out there, and most of them, they're conscientious and they do a good job. Just hire that type of vendor like you would any, get a couple of quotes, maybe a recommendation from a local shelter, pet store, veterinarian might have their name for you. And it may or may not.
If you don't like them, you can always dump them.
That's right. Wipe the slate clean and move on. We have the pet professionals standing by, and I do have parent-teacher conferences tomorrow night. Oh. Fun. But we're here to help you with your pets, not the animals that I work with all week long. Whatever the problem is, we do have the pet professionals standing by, ready and willing to help you out. Of course, our website, animaltalkradio.com, and on there, lots of information, the guests we talk to, links to the things and the products that we see, and just information about the show in general, Brad's cartoons, photos of things in and around the show, and a way to email us, which has just become a lot of fun. So it's just, myspace.com/animaltalk, and you can find our MySpace page. Become a friend, because we like having friends, and we send out little reminders and things and contests on there that we only do on there. So a reason to join the MySpace.
And charming pictures. Charming.
That's right. But like I said, the website, links to the people we talk to and products that we find interesting. And Donna found an interesting item. Now, the problem with dogs, as with people, sometimes it becomes weight issues. And this is a twofold problem. This fights two different problems, this product. And we have on the line with us Michael Kitchen from Breakfast Bowls. Michael, welcome to Animal Talk.
Good evening. Thank you.
Michael, I'm kind of all over the place here because the product that you've created, the Breakfast Bowls, is BREAK-FAST, bowls, are meant to stop and to slow down our fast eaters.
That's right.
All right. Now, fast eating can come back and haunt you twofold ways. One, puppy gets a little heavy, or two, they just regurgitate it. Those are kind of the two results from the fast eating. Because I had heard that the concept was, just throw a brick in there with it, and I always thought that was just a bizarre notion, to throw some rocks into their food, or to throw a brick in there. And I always just thought that was the most bizarre advice that I had heard. It was nothing that you or Don ever suggested, but I had heard that in the past. Michael, how did you come up with the idea for these Breakfast Bowls? And we're going to describe what they look like in just a minute.
Well, when we got our pup, who's now 10 years old, our Doberman Onyx, and her picture, of course, is on the website as the site model, and our demonstrator dog. It wasn't she was abused or anything. She just always was in a food frenzy. Always hungry. And so when we first got her, I remember a conversation my wife and I had. We're sitting there watching her eat. The food's flying, and she's basically doing scoop and shovel. A big mouthful, throws her head back like a great white shark and swallows. And we said, if we could create a bowl that had some kind of impediment in there, that would help slow her down. So we got the idea, and so we took a tortilla keeper and cut off some wooden dowels, 3 of them, and then screwed them in from the bottom. And then we put our same amount of food in there, and eureka, here it is. These 3 impediments inside a bowl, basic like that, keeps her from being able to open her mouth all the way and do the scoop and shovel or bolting her food down the way they do.
Right. So, to describe what these Breakfast Bowls look like, all right, what's your website, Michael?
The website is www.brake-fast.net.
Okay.
And there's a picture right there. You'll see it immediately on the website. And people who have dogs who eat too fast will look at it and go, I understand.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Brad, you described it looking like a what?
Well, it looks almost like if you were looking from inside a bowling ball looking out. There's like 3. But the other thing it might be is like a cross between a dog bowl and a putt-putt golf course, because you got these 3 little plastic prongs coming up out of the bottom. That's gonna make it hard to eat very quickly, which is a really good thing. This is a very, very common problem.
Yeah, very common. And you described it maybe almost like a pan for a bundt cake, but with 3 little pillars in it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you could store donuts on that.
Yeah.
Maybe a bagel server to keep them nicely stacked.
So, Brad, you encounter this problem? Your clients come in with this often?
Sure, it is quite a common problem, and it's a brilliant idea. So again, most of the great ideas are very simple ideas, and this is that. I mean, it just takes the very crux of the problem and says, here's what we do, and takes care of it. So it's very neat. It looks very simple, and looks like it would work just wonderfully.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was mistyping that. Break as in stopping. It's not like breakfast. It's like break fast. Breakfast.net. And so that's how you find them online. It'll have some photos up there. Oh, that's the puppy on your model there.
Right, that's awesome.
Oh, it's a handsome pup. So besides finding it online, where can people find the Breakfast Bowls?
Well, we have a number of small, fine retailers throughout the United States. There's about 175. We only started the company in June of last year.
Oh, okay.
And right now, all we have is the medium-sized bowl.
Right.
But if you just go to the retailers link at our website, you can see from state to state who our retailers are in which city and a phone number to call them.
But then you can just get it right off of the website itself as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, and how durable are these bowls? Because we're looking at them, and they feel pretty durable. It looks like you got a rough puppy there, though. How's it held up with the pup and chewing on it? Have you had a problem with them like puncturing these pillars or anything like that?
We got a new puppy and another Doberman, and once again, I don't know. I guess we just pick them. She is just in a food frenzy. Don't know why. And when she first started eating from the bowl, she was, chewing on the knobs a little bit, and it got rough. But they soon realized that that's not the food. So
right.
Onyx eats out of one of the first proof bowls we got from the manufacturer when we started the process, and her bowl has been. She's been eating it from her for a year now, and it's held up just fine.
Okay.
Their dishwasher's safe. First thing my wife did when we got approved, throw it in the bottom rack of the dishwasher and run a cycle.
There you go.
She wanted to make sure they could be cleaned that way. So it's human-grade polypropylene, the same kind of stuff that like food plastics or that you buy for to store your food in.
Right. Okay, so are there any plans, because right now you said they come in the medium size, are there any plans in expanding the line to smaller and bigger dogs?
Right, yeah. As a matter of fact, we've just started production on the small and the large, and we should have the proofs on those at the end of this month, and then we're giving ourselves some room. We plan to have production stock in June 2007.
All right, Michael. Well, thanks so much for sharing this product. It'll really help people out and help solve some problems. It's break-fast.net is where you can find them. Michael Kitchen, thanks so much for being with us.
Well, thanks. I enjoyed the show.
All right, take care. And we'll be right back with more Animal Talk.
Hey, it's Jamie. I got to hop on in here and remind you about our sponsor, wearingfunny.com. Wearingfunny.com for all your pet parent T-shirt needs. Head on over wearingfunny.com and check out the vast array of amazing, hilarious T-shirts. Thoughtful, cuddly, and cute for you and your kitties and your puppies. And hey, we take requests. If you have a critter that we don't have represented, let us know. We'll get you connected with just the perfect shirt for you and your critters, showing your love for being the best pet parent you can possibly be. Wearingfunny.com. Back to the show.
And we were just talking to Michael Kitchen, oddly enough, who made a bowl. The guy named Crapper made the bathroom. It's just how appropriate. So Michael Kitchen created this dog food bowl, and it's they're called Break Fast, and it's basically a bowl with these 3 prongs in it to slow down voracious eaters, dogs that eat too quickly, because a lot of times dogs will eat and then they'll eat too much. They won't know they're full, and then they get fat. And then the other problem is the bloat that can happen. What is the technical term on that?
Gastric dilatation and volvulus.
All right, so so bloat. And what is bloat exactly? And then that can come from those.
It comes from eating food too quickly. Okay. The problems you get with eating food too quickly, even for people, you talked about weight gain. The reason is you don't realize you're full. You don't have that feeling. Satiety, you're feeling like you're full, takes a little while to feel, and so that's why humans tend to, especially Americans, tend to eat very quickly, and that's why we tend to eat too much. But as to GDV, what it is you eat a rapid diet, you eat quickly, you fill up, and then what happens is your stomach flips over, and by you I mean the dog. The stomach will flip over, and when you do that, you picture a tube sock. If you have a tube sock stretched out, and then you flip it so that it's got a fold on each side.
Yeah. Now
it's closed off from the rest of the GI tract.
Okay.
Once that happens, the stomach acid starts causing gas to fill up. Pretty soon you have a stomach that instead of being the size of, a small children's shoe, ends up being the size of a basketball.
Oh, hello.
And that can cause rupture, can cause damage.
That's not good at all.
No, it can actually cause death. It's one of the most deadly conditions. And if they can't reduce it by passing a tube down into the stomach to let the air out, then you're going to have to go to surgery, and that's a very, very difficult, very expensive surgery, trying to flip over the stomach, make sure it's not damaged, repairing any damage, and then tacking it to the wall.
So a dog that eats way too quickly is actually can become quite the medical mess.
Sure. It's then the carpet of a person who owns a dog that eats very quickly can become quite the mess too. So no, it's a pretty good. It's a pretty substantial problem, and these bowls are and I'm sure there's things like it, but these bowls are just fabulous, and they should take care of that problem pretty nicely.
All right, instead of putting, because like I said, I had heard the thing, just put a brick in there. That'll slow them down.
Yeah.
And I always just thought that was a bizarre remedy for that. So there's got to be a more sanitary, thoughtful way of doing that. And so this guy came up with this.
Mm-hmm. I thought for years, I've always suggested a softball. I always for years suggested a softball until someone pointed out their dog was just picking the softball up, setting it outside the bowl, and then finishing their.
Yeah.
So that really doesn't work. But I always use a bun pan. I've said that before. That slows them down a little bit. But this make it harder because there's very little room to get your mouth in around.
They really got to work it and slow them down.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that is the where to find that. Michael Kitchen's invention here. It's the Break Fast Dog Food Bowl, and it's simply Break BRAKE hyphen fast.net, and there'll be a link to that up on our site later on as well. So the Break Fast dog food bowls. So quite a little idea. Yep. I'm glad we found it. Donna found that one and said, hey, we should talk to this guy at animaltalkradio.com. And Brad, did you have an email question over there?
Sure. When you type into it, just start this way. Dear Animal Talk,
you've got mail.
My husband is taking a course in driving a draft horse cart. I think it's a waste of time. We can afford the class, but he's an attorney. He'll never use this for anything. Will you tell him to stop this silly class? No, drop this silly class. I'm sorry. Thanks. And this is signed Elizabeth. Well, I'm sure that being his life partner, you won't have as much say as two guys on the radio, but
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't see any problem with that. It seems like if
I see a problem, but it's not with him taking classes. Okay, I'm a single guy. Can you tell?
Favorite play? Taming of the Shrew. Anyway, no. What we're getting at is that it seems like it's a wonderful class. It seems like this would be a lovely little hobby to be involved with, and and what could be more harmless than driving a draft horse around? And what do you think, Jamie?
Well, because they said it's not a financial burden at all, and isn't this something? Are they single seat carriages? Maybe it's a 2-seater.
For a draft horse, those are the ones for Budweiser.
The big, those big, they could go with them. Some quality time.
Yeah, it seems like there's no way learning anything is ever bad. I mean, I've always thought what I'd really like to learn of just if I went back to school to learn something, I'd love to either learn to fly or to be a bartender. I don't drink at all, but I'd love to know how to make drinks. But what do you think, Jamie? What would you want to do?
If I'm doing it. Teaching high school and working on the radio. So
oh, really?
I got it all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty much it.
So, yeah.
No, I'd play an instrument. But learn how to play an instrument.
But you'd help me out with my bartending homework.
I would help you with your bartending homework for sure. I lament that I don't play an instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
Which would you want to play?
So I wanted to play the saxophone.
Really?
Yeah. So here's the story. Wanted to play the saxophone, 5th grade, 6th grade, something like that. And my parents, great, we'll get you. My dad is a music teacher. He was a band director in high school. Yeah. So all right, so we'll get you some music lessons, right? Because I went to a private school and it was very small, only 500 kids. We didn't have a band or anything, a music program. So private lessons for, I wanted to take saxophone. So they set me up. He brings home a clarinet.
Oh.
No. I want a nice, shiny saxophone. I'm talking about. I'm sitting on a fire escape wearing a white T-shirt. It's a hot summer night. This is what's in my head, right? And in the 5th grade. I was listening to too much Springsteen. So Clarence Clements is
not a whole lot.
Was just way cool. So there you go. The concept was that.
Clarinet, Clarence Clements.
Right, so yeah. So, but the thing is, if you learn the clarinet, saxophone is very similar. And then I would have 2 instruments. So playing the saxophone after the clarinet, much easier, and I would have 2 instruments. Well, those lessons lasted about 3 weeks, and I was done with it because I didn't want to play the clarinet. Big boys that play the clarinet got beat up in my neighborhood. I grew up in the city. So.
One of those clarinet hating areas.
Yes. So. All right, but anyway, so I kind of lament, although I lament not sticking with it and switching to the saxophone eventually.
Wow.
So, but no, this gentleman definitely take these draft horse classes. That would be, don't kill the dream, don't stifle the man's dream.
Yeah, just an opportunity to get out, get with the animals, get out in the country.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with critters, and this is one example. Take a little class.
Excellent. All right, your call's next. Bullfighter. I'd like to be a bullfighter.
A bullfighter?
No, I don't know. Just the bull sitting there on the table. We have toys and bric-a-brac all around the studio, and there's little stuffed animals of all kinds. There's a bull right here. Brad had previously asked me, is there anything that if I could go back that I would do? And I said, yeah, play the saxophone. But now I saw the bull, and animal-related, I'd be a bullfighter. Because the gentleman was taking a... Hey, bull! And the bull has its own little running soundtrack, too. It has this whole stadium. But, the previous email was a gentleman was taking draft horse lessons, and the wife was, shaking her head saying, can you talk him out of it? But we really couldn't because I'm actually kind of jealous.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I worked with horses a little bit in college. I know you deal with horses a lot with your sister's plays.
Yeah.
And I was always impressed as it being an excellent way to meet girls. That's my best thing about horses.
The only other thing is a puppy in a Jeep.
No, my. Yeah.
A puppy in a Jeep, forget about it. Girls, look at the puppy. And then you're in an open Jeep, forget it. And I have neither. I have a minivan and a cat, so there you go. That's kind of the antithesis of that.
Coolest man in radio.
But I'm comfortable with it. And did you have another email?
Sure do. It starts out, Dear Animal Talk.
What's this, fan mail from a flounder?
Is it true about dogs and chocolate? I have heard it's true, but I just can't believe it. Thanks. And this is signed Rob. And the answer is yes.
Yeah,
yes,
it is. Yes.
Yeah. But theobromine can cause some severe blood problems. As a matter of fact, I was mentioning, I don't know if I said it on the air last week, but we actually had a dog that actually did eat enough chocolate that it could have killed it.
Because in your practice, you see dogs eating chocolate from time to time. It comes up a few times a year. Typically, though, you do the math and you do the crunch the numbers, and you're like,
not even close.
That'd be all right.
Not even close. This one, I did the numbers, and
because it was a smaller dog.
It was a smaller dog. It got it. The owner had purchased some chocolate from a bank. Was having a fundraiser. She purchased some chocolate squares. And the dog got into her purse when she went into another business. And when she came back out, the dog had peeled and eaten the chocolates out of the wrappers. And I was like, ha ha ha, let me just calculate this out, ha ha ha. Ooh. And it was...
You're like, hey, now I got to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Now I don't get to laugh and make jokes about your carpet's going to get messed up. But we just induced some vomiting, some peroxide induced some vomiting, and that took care of it. Oddly enough, we also had another one, Girl Scout cookies.
Really?
A dog got into...
It's the season.
Yep, and it got into an 815 Girl Scout cookies. Those things, the graham cookies with the chocolate on the bottom. I think they're thanks a lots or thank yous or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, anyway, the lady called me up and she said, "Is that too much chocolate?" And calculations said it probably wasn't, but I pointed out I might need a box in order to evaluate further. And the lady was... You
were just trying to get a free box of cookies.
And the lady, being nice, brought me a box of cookies. She brought me a free box of the cookies to evaluate.
Oh, and how did your scientific calculations with that box of cookies go?
I think it's okay. They were determined to be safe and delicious.
Okay.
No, but again,
she called you out on that. She knew you were just kidding about.
She knew I was joking, but she sells the cookies. She's one of those moms who, pulls the truck by the side of the road and sells cookies.
Aww.
But she brought me a box just to be nice, just to be funny, because she thought she wanted to play along with the joke too.
Oh yeah.
But again, it's one of we have had people the things you wouldn't think about. The dogs that when a doctor that I knew, a veterinarian, actually had his dog die from chocolate toxicosis.
Oh, there you go.
Because he left the M&Ms out on after a party, after a New Year's Eve party. He had a bowl of M&Ms.
Yeah.
Nobody ate M&Ms because apparently at New Year's Eve parties people just drink. And so the dog jumped up, ate all the M&Ms like it was eating from a dog bowl, and when the morning came around, the dog was actually dead.
Oh.
So it's something that you do have to be worried about, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't probably spend all your waking hours being afraid. And if you drop an M&M or they get a little piece of chocolate, it's probably not going to be a big problem.
Right.
But a baker's chocolate's far more toxic.
Unless you got like a 1 pound Chihuahua and it eats a baker's chocolate.
Yeah, you're in trouble quick.
Yeah. All right. 800-259-9231. Going to help you with your pet because we do have Easter on the way.
Yeah.
Hippity hoppity, Easter is on its way. We are in the midst of St. Patrick's Day season. because they're trying to make it into a whole season now.
Sure.
But no problem in looking forward to Halloween and the and the chocolate. The chocolate will make it a year-long celebration for me. Yeah, people are. You're gonna sell it because of Flanagan, right? Last name.
Yeah.
People, are you gonna celebrate St. Patrick's Day? And I'm like, I celebrate it every day of the year.
You're trying to get Guinness as a world record. That would be you.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but Easter on its way, hiding the chocolate eggs around the house. If you have a dog, bad idea, because the dog finds it. You could be in some trouble with those. So watch out for that. The sweets, keep them out of reach.
Exactly.
Especially for me, because I'll eat too many of them. Yes, they are undoubtedly the stars of animal knowledge. Brad has anything medical covered. He's a vet. He's got the doctor in the front of his name to prove it. Donna's got you covered on behavioral issues. And if you got a cold-blooded critter, something with scales, our buddy Rourke can help you out with that.
If you have a question about being something cool, let's say you want to know how to be hip.
Yeah.
That's Jamie.
Yeah, I suppose. All right. So earlier this hour, we talked about the breakfast bowls. We had our guests on. You can find the links to that on our website, animaltalkradio.com. And
people who, for this show, this is where you want to we want to go get the download of this, right? For this is perfect for the downloads, for
Absolutely.
the podcast.
This is it'll be chock full.
Oh.
Unbelievably so.
You get a big, if those are for iPods, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to want to get a big one because this is such a big show. It won't all fit into a little iPod. You're going to need a big one.
And that's true. That is so very true. So you'll be able to check out the website for links to all this and a little synopsis of what's going on so you know which ones to download. And that's animaltalkradio.com.
Thanks for being with us for another episode of Animal Talk. Make sure you do all those podcast things in the podcast places, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We hope you had a little fun along the way. Make sure you head on over to wearingfunny.com. You can grab yourself some gear to show off what a proud pet parent you are. Are you a cool cat mom? Are you a happy doggy daddy? We got all the gear just for you. Hats, shirts, all kinds of swag. Wearingfunny.com. Go check it out and show yourself a little animal pride with Animal Talk. Once again, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here. Have an exotic week and kiss your wild thing for us.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Goodbye.